welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. These are decent seats, aren't they, everybody?
Yeah,
not bad. Actually. Not bad. Yeah, kind of on the halfway line. Well, do they have a halfway line? Anybody want anything from the guy?
Yeah, I'll have a.
Yeah,
I'll have some
I
ice
think
cream.
can
I'll have a lime bar. If they don't have a lime bar, I'll have a flake.
Boggroff, can you go and get me a beer, please?
And
This is all very
can I
exciting
get an
anyway.
orange
I had
juice?
to pull some strings to get these seats, but there we are.
Did you twang?
Anyway, I twanged my string.
Yeah.
Any second now, things are about to kick off. We'll
Oh,
just
look,
have
they're
to
coming
see.
up. You can see them coming.
Not enough leg
Oh,
room.
yes, the elevator.
Here we go.
Don't kick that guy in front of you, Johnny. He might be some sort of, I don't like the look of these coffins, by the way. I wonder what's going to come out of
As long
them.
as they don't come up here.
They look a bit nervous. The gang look a bit nervous, don't you think?
Did Boggroff and Sessions get child concessions for their seats?
Hey, let's not be sizist.
No, they're the characters, Paul. Right? Remember, we're the players, so they're down there, remember? And we're up here. That's all part of our fictional...
I get
I don't
confused
stand
so
up very
easily.
well. You do.
We've noticed.
Anyway, let's... Oh, I think they're going to... Yeah, it looks like they're about to get started. So we'll probably have to make ourselves scarce, actually. Otherwise, we're going to see what happens in things that we decide.
Uncle
Therefore,
Boggy's falling
creating some
asleep
sort of
again.
causality loop. So let's get on with episode 83 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Not a great name, Dan thought of it.
Oh,
Old Friends.
it's a great name.
That's rubbish.
It's a great song.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to the Billowing Hilltop
Hello,
podcast. Hello,
hello.
everybody.
Yeah, hello.
How is everybody?
Very well, thank you.
Fine,
Fabulous. Thank you
Looking
very much.
forward to tonight's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to
Bash.
your reunion with
Bashy,
Grimbold
bashy.
Flange.
Yes.
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 That's
Poor
where
old
we left
Grimbold.
it.
Let's see if we can get somebody to eat his face off for the second time.
Well, he hasn't got one, has he?
No.
It's a bog body. It should be a bog body.
Well, he's a sort of bog-like body.
How did they find him?
But he had his legs
They-
sticking out, didn't he? We buried him upside
Well,
down
I
with his
don't-
legs sticking out.
I think that was we established that you hadn't done that. But somehow they found
Yeah.
him. Somehow they found him.
Well, I was going to say they must have. I mean, we did bury him in the bog, only shallow, but
Yeah,
shallow.
yes, only
grave.
shallow.
Upside down
Yeah.
with his legs sticking out.
Yeah.
Well,
Fairly
you
I
did
ancestral.
mean, somebody
hear-
was following us.
Well, you definitely heard from the chap from the harrowing horde who passed on the message from Hillary.
That's right.
He did tell you that there'd been strange figures prodding around in the mist marsh and asking questions at Blackwall Keep and asking questions of the lizard folk and prodding around in the marsh itself. So who knows? Strange, dark, cloaked figures.
Right.
That person also passed on the warning that Ilthane, the black dragon, had been.
We need to try and
looking
preserve
for
our
you.
resources. Graham, have you got anything big that works against undead?
Big that works against undead.
Can we
undead
get
works
these
quite
guys down quickly?
We're going to think about... So we'll do initiative. We'll have initiative in a second. But yes, you may want to get yourselves oriented because we rather left things hanging. Yes, Cubbins and Grimbold Flange emerging from the coffins, the trumpet sounding the start of the bout. So we are, off. But get yourselves set and then we'll have initiative.
So I cast See Invisibility on our way up.
On the elevator.
No, I did it on myself, but I was on the elevator at the time. And
Oh,
then,
Shit, I've got to
but
change
Sessions,
all
have you got any kind of big undead damagey type spells?
that. That'd give me a real
No.
lift, that.
By the way, where is
Straight
Filch?
answer. Well, I can do turn undead.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine that's going to work.
Filge, Lucas,
Actually-
ran behind the pile of turned graveyard earth.
Actually,
Hang on.
I've
Need to
had
go and
an
get
idea.
back my charger.
but it involves you, Graham.
Well, let's Graham to come back then. What did he just say? What did Graham say?
He said it's just got to go away.
I thought he said something like, I've just found Mr. Kawaja.
I thought he said he's got to go and
Isn't he
get a
an-
lager.
Isn't he an opening batsman for Australia?
Don't
Does
talk
Graham
about
get up
cricket.
to when he's...
Don't talk about cricket.
just-
That's
oh,
bad.
my God.
That's really
Oh,
bad.
my Lord. I mean,
Anyway, my idea is
yes.
so in the same way that you engineer or we engineered with Pitchblade a quick victory, we could do a similar thing with the undead, right? So the undead, basically the rules are anybody attacks a member of the crowd is automatically disqualified. If you turn an undead, they have to run away from you, right? So they might climb up out of the arena and start biting people in the crowd
They have to be within 30 feet.
when you turn them.
Mhm.
But
That
then they,
requires Sessions going within 30 foot of
Yes,
danger.
yeah.
that's it.
Sounds
Yeah.
too easy turning undead.
Could you put him on the end of a giant piece of elastic and sort of fire him at them? At the moment of maximum extension, he can turn them and then be sucked back into safety.
Like a
Huge
kid on a
bungee.
stroller.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll run up and I'll
Very
cast,
wily
We're all
I'll
chaos.
laughing.
cast
isn't it?
Only person
Very
not laughing at
tiny
the joke
heart.
is Graham, who's sitting there thinking,
and then you can run up.
Graham is just terrified of this initiative round.
yes, he
What-
doesn't want to win.
what if I
initiative.
get
Very
above
much doesn't
7?
want to win initiative.
No, I
Yeah.
could.
Do you want to keep chatting or should we have initiative?
Yeah, let's have
The
initiative.
crowd are becoming feverishly excited. They're
So
going,
I think we want to preserve resources, don't we?
buggy.
How dangerous are these guys going to be?
They're not going to be undangerous. They're going to be undead.
Yeah. And they're wormy as well. So
Yeah.
Are they
But
wormy?
they must be tougher than the
yes,
other
they all had
opponents.
worms in them.
Yeah. So
Sure.
So
Well,
obviously we want to try and fight them if possible within a
Cubbins had a
spirit
worm
guardians.
sticking out of his ear. Well, has a worm sticking out of his ear. You've not seen that much other worm evidence,
Yeah.
worm vidence with the others, but you don't
I'm
know.
going to
Oh,
roll
maybe it's because
initiative.
you said there was a worm by Cubbins and I just assumed it was with the
Yeah,
others.
Cubbins has got a worm wriggling around, sticking out of his ear. You do know, of course, that where you found your first worm was in Filch's
That's true.
laboratory back in Dark
yeah.
Lake.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So-
I'm gonna roll for my
Can I
people.
just do my buff up a bit?
13 for
What do you want to do?
Activate my ring of jumping and boost the speed.
Fine, that's fine. 13 for Burple.
13
And I think I will do a
17
protection from
sessions.
evil.
Well, you're going to cast that before initiative.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've got protection from evil, jumping, and speed.
Okay. So you will drop that if you rage, right?
Yes.
And I'd cast Longstrider and I get a 12 for initiative.
Huh?
Alessandra gets a 14 initiative.
Alexander gets a 14. Buggy gets a 14. Okay. So, Sessions on 17, Buggy on 14, DD on 14, Burple on 13, Parker on 12, right?
Yep.
First thing that happens, Cubbins stomps out of the earthen pile, and you presume, therefore, leaves. You don't know if there's any protection, by the way, afforded by these runic rings, but leaves the red ring of combat and starts splubbling out into the middle of the arena. Moves pretty quickly. You hear a voice call out from behind the pile of earth, Filge's voice. He goes,
Seek revenge, my creations.
Cubbins comes stomping out into the middle of the arena, sort of slightly diagonal. He's kind of slightly heading off to your right and towards you. So he's sort of skirting the centre of the arena.
Oh God! Can anybody remember where the pits are?
Good
They move
question.
around, don't they?
No, they were down the
That
centre.
You've not established.
There was.
You're pretty certain there was one right in the centre.
I think there were 3 in a row with spaces between along the centre.
Yeah.
weren't there?
Shall we go after Filge himself? Would that be a plan?
Question.
To concentrate fire on Filge.
Depends if the undead are independent, or I would have thought they would act independently even if he died.
Another good question. In the meantime, Cubbins. Cubbins
No,
can
that's a good-
kind of
sorry.
make his way.
Just on that point.
Yeah, yeah.
If this is to the death, he would surrender, right? And once he surrenders, they all surrender. He's a coward.
As far
so
as
I think
you know
we do
it.
go after Filge.
So far as you know, there's no rule around one surrender, all surrenders. On the other hand, you could infer from the setup here that these creations may be under his direct control and that without him in the fight, they may be, I don't know, they may lose any kind of coordination.
Okay.
I definitely
I mean,
think
there's
we
no-
shouldn't just sort of say, okay, we try and take out the 3 undead and then go for Filge. We should, I mean, we might not be able to avoid having to engage these 3, but if we say we're going to focus on Filge and then they're going to be, they're going to try and get in the way of that. But yeah, I mean, if you've got area effects, range effects, anything that you can sort of, let off a fireball where he
Madam
was.
Watch
that kind of stuff.
scampers out of her earthen ground, heading across the other side of the arena from Cubbins. So heading towards the royal box. Rachnian is sitting there. Okaral is at his side. Behind them you can see, once again in the shadows behind the throne, you can see Severiana and Cuthbert Outsplinter are part of the kind of VIP guest roster. On your right, by the way, you notice that there is the players area.
Yeah.
You can see plus a
Football.
little cohort from Anvil of Thump, the Gnome Warriors, and yes, and Mert Stankbearer. I'm afraid I didn't have a mini for Mert Stankbearer, so we've used a football because he is basically a spherical kind of being. but it communicates the general sense of him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all in there. He's floating. I mean, he's got a piece of string or something that keeps him, but he's floating above the players' area, and they're leaning forward, very keenly interested in the opening part of this competition. Anyway, Madam Watch goes herring out of the red runic circle and sort of towards the royal box, as it were. So kind of opposite
who
side
are these
of
two
the
other
arena
figures? Sorry.
and then stumping forwards directly towards you is what must have once been Grimbold Flange.
They're referees,
You
Jules.
could make
Are they still there, are they? Or they moved out of the way?
referees.
They're there.
The little figurines who are the chaps with the red bases are referees. Yeah?
Can't remember. the last
Grimbold
time.
Flange just starts heading straight towards you, directly towards you. Makes it to about the middle of the arena. Can all of you who are seeing this take place make perception checks, please? You notice something. You can see that on Grimbold, or again, ex-Grimbold,
Ooh, an 18.
there's a little wooden board hanging on a piece of string around his neck. You're 18, Parker, if it is the real Parker.
I get 27.
You can
Might
see
be.
that
Who wants to know?
scrawled on this board in spidery handwriting are the words, "Why didn't you save me?" And
Good question.
Because you're just really annoying.
Not that I'm feeling bitter. or
Because you're run by Johnny.
he stumps forward towards the centre of the arena, and then he levels a hand at you, Parker, and an orb of some kind of dark, crackling energy flings at you from him,
Chromatic orb.
hitting and misses. Oh, he's a hobbit. He gets to roll again with a 1. Rolling off, not enough, and it
Is he still a
sails over
hobbit?
your head.
Yeah.
Well,
Does it look like a chromatic orb?
it looks like a weird, twisted, undead version of a chromatic orb. Maybe it's a necrotic orb. Whatever it was, it sailed over Parker's head and kind of detonated behind you in the arena to a sort of from the crowd. We're all very excited at the moment.
Do Parker's eyes light up?
That is it for our little undead trio, and we move on to sessions on 17.
I will step forward 5 feet.
Yep.
Yep. And then forward another 5 feet because I'm further away than I realised.
Yes.
And then I will invoke the crushing coin in front of Grimbold.
Oh, I mean, the ultimate betrayal.
Poor old Grimbold.
Poor old Grimbold.
What did he ever do to you, eh?
Who's got the crystal?
You might have
Left it
done.
I think
downstairs.
you do,
Do I
because
have
you
it?
had the mage hand, yeah.
I think
Okay.
Buggy has the
We
crystal.
gave it to Buggy, didn't we?
Oh dear.
Because we have to get relatively close.
Oh, didn't read the small print.
Yes, the crushing coin has appeared in front of Grimbold.
Okay, and I whack him with it. Hitting armor class 22
22's a hit.
for 5 points of damage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't think you did very much.
Nope.
If you see what I mean.
But so crushing coin is a bonus action, yeah?
It's a bonus action to cast it, and yes.
So I
That's
can
right.
then use my action to cast a cantrip if I understood the rules
can,
that we've
yes.
been getting wrong correctly. So I
Yeah, no,
cast
that's
Toll
totally
the
right.
Dead
Yeah.
immediately afterwards on Grimbold. He needs to make a DC 16 Wisdom save. It's necrotic damage.
DC 16 Wisdom
It's
save.
not a healer,
rolling
is it?
a 19 and saving.
Okay.
Does he take any damage, or does he
Nope.
take like half damage, or what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all happens.
If he had a mouth, he would laugh, but he hasn't because it's been eaten off by a rope.
And that's kind of
George
double
Roper.
check. I think that was probably me down.
Uncle Buggy,
Right.
it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to move 70 feet, which I can do in one
Yes.
round.
You've jumped in before I got to finish my round, but never mind.
Oh, go on then.
I just wanted.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to see I can move 2 squares to the left. And that's what I'm gonna do.
Cool.
I don't think the pit went right. Can I remember? I mean, my character can remember, but I can't. Did the
Right.
pit go right up against the side of the arena, or was it just inset slightly? The pit on the eastern side.
Pit on the eastern side is
No.
it
So
kind of-
here,
yeah.
there was a gap between.
The pits that you know of, there was a gap between them and the edge of the arena, yes.
Okay, I'm running up to the very eastern side of the arena, just below Rachnian's bit where
The VIPs,
VIP lounge.
there's a kind of "Whoa" from the crowd, and the VIPs lean over the rampart, as it were, lean over the parapet to see you.
That
Absolute
balcony, is that
fervid
over
atmosphere
the
in
top?
stadium.
Or is that cut in? Does that cut into the arena? or does it
That-
hang over
I-
the top of it?
I think it cuts into the arena.
Right. So I'm moving there. Then I'm
But-
going to do the same as Graham. I'm going to do a spiritual weapon. So,
Yes.
and I'll place it next to
You summon the claw of Irisi Bear Claw.
a greasy bear claw on Madame Roger the Lodge.
Madam Roger the Lodge.
Okay. Yes. Appears next to her.
okay.
She goes,
Ah.
Bashes her. +6 on this. So 20.
there's a hit on Madame Roger the Lodge.
And I do this plus. Oh no, sorry, wrong dice. So it's 1d8 plus. This plus 2. 4 points of damage. And then as a cantrip, I'm also going to do Toll the Dead.
She's going to make a wisdom saving throw.
DC 14.
Rolling a 4. That is not going to be enough.
Okay, it does 1d8.
What kind of damage is it?
Necrotic.
Okay, yep.
That's not going to heal it, is it?
You don't know.
Graham?
Too late now.
4 points. Graham, do you think necrotic damage heals them? Undead?
Yes,
Well,
I would assume so.
it's too late now. You don't actually think that you healed her, but you don't think that it did the damage that you might be expecting.
Okay.
That's your sense
Resistant?
from seeing the spell affect her. And the crowd start going, D-D, D-D, D-D. And it is Sandy's round.
Drone.
Alessandra is going to move 40 foot again, kind of
When
follow.
you say that, the whole crowd go, ooh.
She does a roll of the eyes. She stands there, she looks around, and she's like, "Ah, you bastards!"
It's going to roll a d6. The higher the better for you.
Average.
You're losing the crowd, D-D, with your haughty...
So she's just a petulant, kind of
Attitude.
teenager-y kind of.
Yeah, well, you know. Anyway, off you run
So
towards
she's
Buggy. Yep.
she's running off kind of towards Buggy.
Yeah, get away from me. Get away from me.
Not too
Yeah,
close
get
to
away
Buggy. And then,
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to because of the,
no.
the pants.
Well, I mean, it's just the history. There's the history there. She doesn't ever want to get
Yeah.
out.
And there's the restraining order, of course.
Yes, and she's going to do a crossbow attack. +1 crossbow at Madam Lodge. Oh, not very good at all, I'm afraid. Armor class 11.
11.
I imagine that
is
fails.
a miss. Your crossbow bolt goes... shoots over Madeline. She goes...
Exactly.
And it is... He lives in a bin. He is ever so thin. It is Burple Hapish on 30.
He is ever so thin. Right, Burple will...
Yes.
Oops, that's the wrong thing. Will go forward
Burpish.
Oops, that's the wrong thing.
Booper will go oops.
Burple will go,
10,
oops, that's the wrong thing.
Okay, next person.
15,
Oh.
20, 25.
Middle-aged man counting out loud.
Sorry, I have to, I have to check my move.
Yeah, no. National Radio Awards.
Thank you very
There we go.
much. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, centered on that square there. So I'm assuming
again,
that Phil, we can't
terrific
see
radio.
Filch. I'm assuming we
You
can't,
can't
see
see Phil. You think he's behind the pile of earth. Well, that's the last time you saw him.
Yeah. So there's a cart. Can we see the cart?
You can see the cart, yes, rearing up behind the earth. Yes, you
And
can
we
see
think
the
he's
top, you can see
probably
the
behind the cart.
You can see the bed of the cart. And you can see half of the nearby wheel. Yes.
Yeah. And so we think
Oh.
he's behind the cart.
Well, that was the last place you saw him go.
Yeah.
You have heard of a voice from behind there.
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically targeting a spell behind that cart.
Right on
So
the
it's a
far side of
10-foot
the
radius
Yes.
effect.
Yes.
The spell is a 4th level confusion spell. So can I
Okay,
have
yeah.
a wisdom save DC 15 and please fail?
He's going to make
Right.
it. He always makes it. He's going to make it.
Well,
Blue dice.
let's not get into all of that
Nice try, Paul.
first. There's one,
See what
one,
you did there.
one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a confusion spell. We're going to have to look at that potentially anyway. Let's just make sure.
The possible effects are quite funny.
Yeah, the possible effects are quite funny, and the question is whether or not it's fine. Okay, yeah.
The creature uses all its movement to move in a random direction. Just like
Okay,
brilliant.
well, I'm going to roll behind the screen, actually.
You can't. You
No,
rolled it
ignore that.
now.
You've rolled it now, Mike.
You rolled it
Two,
now.
okay.
It's
See
a
that?
2.
Fine, that's fine. It's a 2. Okay.
Touch move.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. I was going to roll behind the screen, but that's fine. I've rolled a 2.
Yeah, we'll take the 2. All right. So
Yeah,
he's,
you can take the 2. Yeah.
He's confused
If he's there.
if he's there.
Well,
yeah, if he's there. But
You can infer from that 2 what you like. Is that it for Burple?
yes, and he'll move back.
yeah.
He'll move back. So
Yeah, he moves back to the circle.
well, he moves back to in
Parker.
front of Parker.
Right.
Rather for long.
Don't forget, if he's using Grimbold spells, he's going to have a few fireballs.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Well, Parker will basically go in the same direction that Alessandra went towards the podium.
So everybody's also running towards the royal box.
Yeah, but I will then go straight towards Madam Watch until I get to 15 foot away from her. And then I will do Fangs of the Fire Snake. So, well, no, it's got to...
Yes, the joyless mechanical
I
process
rolled
that
a
is
1 on the
Parker's
first
round.
go as wet again. How does that?
Oh,
That's
excellent.
literally 3 weeks in a 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I just do not. It's
All you need now is a difficult to open door in between you and her, and we can be sort of revisiting your greatest hits.
That is just fucking unbelievable. How on earth?
Talabir stands up in the royal box and goes, Parker, you have rolled a 1.
Thankfully, that ends your round.
Would you like to gamble, Parker?
Saving us hours.
In order to entertain the crowd. Crowd going, don't gamble.
No, I will use the remaining 2 squares of movement and then move back again.
That's it. You're not gambling.
No,
You're just going to
I'm
be.
just.
That's it.
I'm obviously.
You're not risking it for a biscuing
No.
it. Okay, love it.
Karma
love it.
is
Okay,
just not
right.
going my way. Fuck it.
Top of round
Wanks.
2. First things first. Tell me about this confusion spell.
And now I'll go and make a cup of tea.
Okay, so the spell assaults and twists creatures' minds, spawning
Oh, I'm
delusions.
rolling a d10. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Spawning delusions and provoking
Yeah,
uncontrolled action.
right, I'm
Can't take reactions and must roll a d10 at the start of each of its turns to determine its behavior for that
So I'm just
turn.
rolling a d10 behind the screen.
Just basically don't want a 9 or a 10.
Okay. Yep. That's been established. Now let us deal with Cubbins, Grimbold, and we're going to start with Cubbins. Cubbins continues his run up the side of the arena.
You get
Using
to
all his movement.
you get at the end of each of your turns.
Yeah.
You get to save again.
And I'll roll that all behind the screen.
Yeah, fine.
Cubbins has run all the way up to level with the blue circle now. He's got a great big double-handed sword. He's about 30 feet from you, Burple.
Yeah.
She says,
Finally, I will have my vengeance.
and she stomps forward.
I didn't quite catch that. Can you say that again?
I can't. I don't know. I could actually. My throat would do it. She stomps forward. Would you like an attack of opportunity with the bear claw, Uncle Buggy? As she just keeps walking towards you.
I was trying to work out if you did get attacks of opportunity with spiritual weapons.
We're not going to have this discussion now, are we?
I can't remember. Anyway,
I think you can use your reaction to do it, but you've used your reaction. Missed anyway. What's that? A 5? What did you hit?
11.
No, it's a miss. Okay, so she steps forward, and then the awful gaping wound in her throat that was given to her by Cuthbert Outsplinter many moons ago in the Whispering Cairn sort of swells open, and an awful ear-splitting shriek emerges from it.
Oh no, not that again.
Buggy, Dee, and Parker, you are caught within the cone of her awful shriek. And can you give me DC 13, when it's a low DC, you know it's bad, Constitution saving throws, please? Start with Parker.
Is it a
Oh
charm?
god, here we go.
No.
18, thank god for that.
Sandra?
Uh-oh, a 4. I think
4.
she might be wanting to use her Ort dice.
Yes, you can use an Ort dice, new session.
She will use an Ort dice to roll that again. Well, she rolls a 17 on the 20.
And she makes it.
She makes it.
And Uncle Buggy?
Is it charmed, frightened, possessed? So I got protection.
No, it's
running.
not charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Bugger.
Is that some D&D version of Snog, Marry, Avoid or something?
Yeah.
6. 14.
14 is enough. You all take 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
It's like a cone that emitted from this gap, this gaping wound in her neck. And finally, we have Grimbold Flange. Grimbold, well, you can't tell what he's thinking. I mean, he was never really thinking, was he? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Graham, you didn't do an aid spell, did you, by the way?
He didn't know.
No. I also don't think I've
Grimbold.
done Spirit Guardians yet.
Stumps up towards the centre, kind of gets quite close to you, Parker. As Grimbold gets closer, you realise the full horror of the Grimboldness. Yeah, you can see
Okay.
that awful, eaten away face. I mean, he was
Yeah.
never a particularly attractive individual to begin
He
with.
was a sorcerer. He had like 18 charisma or something.
But the charisma is not necessarily
Yeah.
it's not necessarily about how good looking you are.
Well,
Grimbold is a revolting sight, Parker. And when you see him approach you, can you please make
Oh, God.
a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw?
Oh,
Oh dear.
hold on.
9 in total.
9 in total.
Oh dear.
I think
Do you
we
wanna use
might.
your Ort
Yes,
dice?
I think we're going to have to use the Ort
See,
dice.
let's suck up those Ort dice.
I'm just wondering because I have stillness of mind,
Mm-hmm.
which is I can use in an action to end myself being charmed or frightened, and I'm wondering whether this wasn't a frightening effect that we've had on these worms before. Oh no, fuck it! I use the Ort dice again. Here we go again. Yeah, that's
Make it.
saved.
Very nice. Okay,
God,
so that's
that.
2 Ort dice down. Very pleasing.
Yes.
That was Grimbold. He also throws an orb at Sessions.
What?
Rolling an 8, hitting armor class 13. Sessions?
No, not even close.
No. Goes pinging over your head, and we pick up with Sessions on 17.
Okay. Sessions
There
on
is an argument, Graham.
17. Yeah.
That if Parker and Buggy can engage those two, the three of us, how fast are you?
Slow.
So, yeah. So you basically want to go behind Parker and Buggy, away from Cubbins.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, and I'm going to
Alessandra
basically...
and Burple, I suggest, who are both quite fast, go after
Filge.
Filge.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
planning on
Okay.
making a beeline for him.
Although if you're talking fast, Buggy and Parker are the fastest. We can
Yes,
both
but
move
Buggy,
70.
Buggy and Parker should engage the two other hand-to-hand guys.
We can just keep away
Right,
from them.
okay, and you're going to get to go and do spell stuff on Filge.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Let's go.
So first thing I'm going to do, bonus action, I'm going to move the crushing coin onto
Yeah.
Grimbold.
Yes.
And
Attack him.
attack him with it. Give him a bit of crushing coin. Yeah. Hitting armor class 13.
13 is a... Oh, actually, that might be a hit. That is a hit on
Oh,
Grimbold.
wow. Okay. Surprised. For 12 points of damage, force damage.
Wow. Can you make a perception check, Sessions, when you do that, the damage on it?
Yeah, I can try. 20.
He seems to have sort of reset a bit in terms of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The damage you've just done on him with your crushing coin seemed to have started afresh.
Excellent, excellent. Okay.
His wounds seem to have knitted. Now you think about it, actually, Wodge is looking
What a wonderful
They
card.
is
regenerate.
looking pretty well as well.
Yeah,
We need to focus on one at a time because they're regenerating
Then
a
Sessions
lot.
is going to tiptoe up behind the judge,
Yes.
up to here, I
Very
think.
careful about using the judges as cover.
Not using the judge as cover, just as a distractor.
Mhm.
Yep. And I'm going to use my action, yeah, to turn undead.
Right. Have they got to be able to see you?
See or hear.
Okay, fine. Right. And how does that work?
They have to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 16.
They don't, Sessions.
That's annoying.
They ignore
So they're not
your...
undead.
You're not sure, but
Animated.
you
Yeah.
call forth the blessing of misfortune, the Lady Luck,
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't seem to be very interested in what you had to say. It doesn't seem to have any effect on them whatsoever.
Okay, we learned something there.
Damn it.
Yeah. Bleh.
That's
Well,
rather annoying.
I'm rather annoyed.
Okay, anything else from Sessions?
No, I've had an action,
Bonus
a bonus
action,
action, and a little
action,
movement,
move.
so I think I'm done.
You're done, and so it's Buggy from the crowd. They're very interested in this because the turning thing has not worked. You get a sense that maybe this is not the first time they've seen Filge's creations resist
Being turned.
clerical magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm not going to run after Filge. Is that the idea? I'm going to attack one of these.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Go into Wodge.
Well, the thing is, I think we have to focus on one or the other because they're probably regenerating 20 hit points around or something. So
Mm-hmm.
unless we all focus on one, they're just going to keep regenerating.
Yeah, that's good. Whoever you go for, I'll go for as well.
But I thought you were going after the Filge with...
No. You and I
Right.
are dealing with Grimbold and Watch.
All right, well, shall we go for... who's the most dangerous, do you think?
Well, it's going to be Wodge, because Grimbold was
No,
very
no, it's
dangerous.
going to
Very
be
good.
the other one. The other one.
Watch or
Grimbold.
Grimbold?
Grimbold, definitely.
Who?
Yeah, I'd say Grimbold.
Much
Grimbold.
closer to me.
Right.
Ah,
Okay, so I'm moving westwards.
For
5,
the same
10.
reason.
Moving 10 feet. Then I'm going to
Yeah.
jump case there's a pit, I can jump.
Right.
How far can I jump? I wrote it down somewhere, was it?
Where did you write it down? I mean, somewhere in your house
You
or
wrote it
somewhere?
in chalk
I
on
can
the
jump
pavement.
35 feet.
Yeah, okay.
So I can basically jump over to next to Grimbold. Yeah.
You leap through the air
Over Parker's
towards
head, brush the
Grimbold's
top of his green
horrific
head and land next to...
appearance. Can you make a DC 14 wisdom save? Actually, I think you're going to be alright because of your protection from evil.
Then I'm going to sink my axe into his head.
No. I mean,
What's
that's
left of it.
what's not fratricide. What is it when an...
Oh,
anyway.
a natural 20!
Ooh, it's a 20!
Natural 20, right, so
Oh,
I'm not raging.
excellent. The
So,
idea that Buggy's
Would you like to
attacking
gamble? No, you don't want to
Grimbold.
gamble, obviously. No intention to gamble.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
17, and then I'm rolling another 3d6.
Cold.
Yeah, the last one's always cold. So 28 points of damage, 9 of which is cold.
Well, Grimbold looks a little bit wounded now.
Now I'm going to bash him again. I go, "Urgh." Oh, sorry, I'm not raging yet. I won't say that. Oops, big pardon.
That's
No,
a shame.
Try rolling the... Yeah.
22,
Oh, 22's a hit. Yeah, absolutely.
14 points of damage, 3 of which is cold.
Grimbold's looking, you know...
Then I'm moving
not great.
You never did.
The Reese Bear Claw 5.
That's true. Rather difficult to tell. Yeah.
Moving the Bear Claw next to him, he's going to bash.
Yes, as a bonus action. Yeah.
That's 6 to this. 22,
That's a hit. Yeah.
1d8 plus 2. 3 points of damage.
Excellent. Dee Dee on 14.
Alessandra is
Dee Dee.
just gonna. Alessandra is gonna wave at the crowd, trying to.
Okay, let's just see how they react. Higher is better for you. Ooh, Dave, maybe because maybe because Uncle Buggy has been leading the way, shown a bit more a doing do. They seem to be a bit more positive about you, Dee Dee.
Now, are we just.
There you go. Dee Dee, Dee Dee, Dee Dee.
Dan, are we going after Filge or shall we all pile in on Grimbold?
Don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think someone should go for
Shall I go after
Filge.
Filge? The thing is as it stands now, if I hit Grimbold, I can do quite a lot of damage because of the sneak attack.
I would
Then
do that.
Parker move up to Filge then.
Shall I do that? Shall I
Take a round of attacks.
do a round of attacks?
If we
All
can
right.
take one down, let's go for it.
I'm going to move towards the. What do you
But
want to call it?
Yeah, take your full move forwards if you can.
No, I can't. Then can't do the range.
Okay.
So
But you can
I'm
shoot and keep moving, can you?
Yeah, I can shoot and keep moving. I'm going to shoot first.
You can shoot. You can move, shoot,
And
move.
ask questions later.
Move,
I'm
shoot,
going to shoot
move.
first. I'm going to shoot, then move and move.
Who are you shooting?
I'm going to shoot Grimbold.
You're going to shoot Grimbold.
I'm going
Okay.
to shoot Grimbold.
You're looking at Grimbold in order to shoot him, or what do you want to do?
Oh God, that's awful, isn't it?
It's your choice.
No, I'm going to move.
Okay, so where are you moving?
I can move, and with a move, and a dash action, I can move down.
Yeah, your cunning action.
With my cunning
Yeah.
action, I can move all the way down
To the other end of the
to
arena.
the other end of the arena and see behind the cart. And I'm
Yes,
taking
where-
the route, trying to avoid the pit trap, so going as close to the where Talarkin and all that lot are sitting as possible.
Talarkin.
Talarkin.
Was the leader of the
Oh,
Talibir.
doppelgangers.
Talibir.
But anyway, the names are all a bit of a confusion thing. Anyway, yes, so you shoot through right down to the other end of the arena.
Yeah.
You can see behind the cart, behind the graveyard pile of earth.
Yeah.
And Filge is standing there, sort of looking a little bit bemused behind the cart.
Okay, and that's all I can do.
Looking a little bit sort of like he's not, I don't know, he's just standing there.
He's not really all there. I'm just checking my movement.
Doesn't really react to you coming round the corner.
Okay.
Anything else from you, Sandra?
I could actually take a shot at him. I can take.
What, with just because you only used your
I've
move?
used a move and a dash.
Yeah.
Can you put him in so I can see him?
Yeah.
Hitting armor class 21.
Your crossbow bolt goes straight through him. I mean, as if he wasn't there.
Displace.
Projected image.
Don't know, but it just went absolutely nailed it, and it just goes straight through him and skitters into the sand of the arena X number of yards past him. He doesn't seem to react to you doing that at all.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything else?
No,
Last
that's me.
thing from
That's me.
Sandra? Burbly Herbalish on
Okay,
13.
Burple is going to move.
Sorry, free action. Can I have a free action to
Oh.
shout this back up to them so they're aware?
Sure. Yeah.
He's moving up, but he's slightly out, so he's not running directly up the middle because I think there was a pit right up the middle.
Towards the middle of the arena, but not
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then moving as far as he can run,
Right up to the graveyard.
right up to the graveyard.
Earth. Of,
Yes.
I mean, from where you're standing, you could probably make out Filge because the pile is high in the middle, but lower at the edges.
Oh, okay.
You can see the figure of Filge in his funny little lab coat, standing there looking a bit bemused.
I've got a detect invisibility running, see invisibility running,
Right? Yeah. You can't see anything invisible. You can just see him.
but he looks, kind of normal.
Yes. I mean, in a sense, yes. I mean, things that aren't invisible.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anything else from?
No, that's
Herbert
all we
Herbertish?
can do.
Okay. Parker.
Right. Well, I will just stomp up to Grimbold, and
Yes.
away we go with an attack. Armor class 25 is a hit,
Is a hit.
9
on Grimbold,
points.
Yep.
Armor class 26 is a hit for 9
There's
points.
also a hit. Yeah. Another 9 points. Yep. 9 points. Yep.
A 19
And 19 is a hit.
for 5 points.
5 points. Yes.
And 12.
Yep.
12 is a hit?
Is a miss.
12
Sorry, 12 is a miss.
Okay, there you go.
My mistake.
That was really
Fine.
fast.
Okay, and Grimbold looks bloodied, solidly bloodied. At least he does for the moment, until he gets all his hit points back at the beginning of the next turn. We'll worry about that in a second. Oh no, we'll worry about it now. You see Grimbold visibly heal, but don't worry too much. It looks like some of his wounds have knitted, but he's not reset. Cubbins stalks up towards Sessions.
Ooh.
His eyes seem to be burning with a kind of necrotic hatred, Sessions, and he fixes you with that glare. Can you please give me a DC 15 wisdom save? Lucky you're a cleric.
Yep. DC
He goes,
15 wisdom save. I guess it's
"You're gonna
against
come
being
down to the
frightened.
station for a bit of a chat." You up?
Is it against being frightened?
No.
Okay.
That's enough.
15.
Fine. And that is it for Cubbins. He just stalks up towards you
Mm-hmm.
and sort of glares at you.
Madam, I have you large.
Breaks off from the fight with the others, starts heading south towards Alessandra. And she bathes you with her horrible scream from her neck wound.
Damn you.
Can you make a
Constitution?
Quite unpleasant, these guys, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're tougher than we think.
Constitution save DC 13? As you know, the lower the DC, the nastier the effect.
And the less likely I am to make it. Oh, thank God for that. No, 22.
You're all right. You take, though, another 10 points of psychic damage. Sorry, I think I said it was necrotic
You did.
damage the first time that you saved. Yeah, it's psychic damage, if that makes any difference whatsoever. It doesn't.
No.
Grimbold, poor old Grimbold Flange, eh? Now you're all around him, yeah? Now you're all running in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
No, no.
Base to base now.
No, don't do that. That's not fair.
What does he do? Grimbold casts a fireball where he's standing. Actually, no, he won't do that. He's pretty stupid, but he's not that stupid. He is going to draw his daggers.
Where's the
And he's going to
Flange
attack.
family? They're all a bit dim.
Yeah, they've always been a bit dim. He attacks. Wow.
What?
Okay, first attack. Okay, so maybe he's not as stupid. First attack with a dagger
On who?
on Parker. It's a 19, hits armor class 26, Parker.
Bloody hell.
You take, well, I mean, I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised. I don't know that you will be. He does 22 points of damage. And then his second attack,
Going to be some other
hits
stupid
armor.
save associated with it, isn't it?
it's armor class 22.
No.
Yeah,
No.
That's annoying.
God. Grosso.
Well, I can't think about that. Unless those daggers were magical, but I don't think they were. So I'm all out of undead, and we're back round to Sessions on 17.
What happened
Okay.
with Filge? Did he do anything?
Phil just,
Could do with a heal.
standing there. He's just standing there, doing nothing.
The real Filge is cowering under the wagon.
You don't know if that's a product of the
That's a projected image.
confusion spell or what.
So as my bonus action, I will whack Grimbold with the
With the crushing coin.
again, hitting armor class 13, which might actually be a hit.
Is a hit. Grimbold is wearing leather armor or whatever.
For
class of
another
leather
12
armor or
points of
sort
force damage.
Oof. Wodge is wearing her black leather armor. Only Cubbins is wearing proper armor. He's wearing splint mail, I think.
So 12 force, did he like that? Not a lot, eh?
He didn't like it. No, he's looking solidly bloodied again.
Okay, and then for my action, I will
Yeah.
I will invoke the Spirit Guardians. I can see all of the good guys, and I will include the 2 judges in my nominated.
Ooh, very clever.
Yes, I understand. Right.
And then I think what I'll do is I'll just shuffle with my movement round the judge.
Well, trying to sort of interpose the judge between you and Cubbins, but yet
Well,
somehow
actually
not
trying to
using
get
him as cover.
Grimbold into the
Spirit Guardians.
Spirit Guardians, yes.
Yes, you can do that. You envelop him with the cloud of flickering playing cards.
Not sure that really helps, but anyhow.
Is that you done?
That's me done. All done, dusted.
Uncle Buggy!
Right.
114.
I'm going to... What should I do?
Beat him to a jelly.
Okay, I'm going to attack him with the axe. First hit.
Sessions, actually, you just... Oh,
16.
got away with a couple of saving throws there, Sessions, anyway. 16 is a hit on Grimbold.
He takes 16 points damage, 3 of which is cold. And I'm
He doesn't look very happy about
bash
that.
him again. A 1, which I get to re-roll.
Yeah. It's your hobby.
22.
Is a hit.
Fuck it. 7 points of damage, 1 of which is cold.
Yeah, okay.
Crushing coin. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
The claw.
The
Plus
ability
6
bad.
on this. 10.
It's a miss.
And I'll just move round to the south side of him.
So you're just going to skirt round him.
Yeah.
Okay. DD on 14.
Now she's learned that there's not a lot she can do where she is going to basically retrace her steps to where she was and
Well, hang on.
Running back to
Surely,
the-
maybe
running-
you shouldn't.
right up to the other end of the arena.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shouldn't you have a little? Maybe even at least have a little look under the cart or something. I don't know.
Well, it's not metagame too much.
I think what I'm going to do is try and help reduce the guns. So I'm going to have a shot at Grimbold.
Mike, sorry,
okay.
I've forgotten to do my concentration check for my protection from evil.
Oh, okay.
So
You better make that roll.
So I need 10 or more, don't I? No, it's DC 10. Let's see what I get.
You took 22 points of damage.
5.
So that was 22 points of damage. It's a DC
11.
11.
No, it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. Well, we'll have to worry about that.
Okay. Alright, it's a bonus action
Because-
before Thingamy has a go.
Think of me.
Too late.
I don't know that we can start rewinding, because if we're going to rewind, then you should have made your fear save when you were attacking Grimbold.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Alessandra, do you want me to keep that roll of 13? And I realise I'm going to have to make a save as well.
Yes, you can keep that roll of 13
Which is a miss.
if you want.
No, I don't want. I'd love to
Oh, I
re-roll
see.
it because that's an attack roll.
No, I think we kind of... No, it's fine. And yes, you do have to make a saving throw. Yes, a wisdom save. DC 14.
Wisdom saving throw DC 14. Come on. Oh, I get a 13.
Oh,
Not a 1
dear.
from anywhere.
You are frightened, Alessandra. You draw a bead on Grimbold to ping him with a crossbow bolt. Miss,
Not having a good
but
day.
his horrific appearance scares the absolute crap out of
Just not having a good day.
you. You have the frightened condition, and we'll come back to what that means next time you get to act or
Yeah.
whatever. And you'll probably get a saving throw or something at later stages. You know, it's the way how these things work in this non-save or die world that we live in. On 13, it's Burbledy Herbishy.
So, Mike,
Yes.
is it your contention that I don't know whether my spell is working?
Do you get a little readout from your spell
do I?
control system?
I'm basically trying to cloud somebody's mind.
Right.
Does that mean, and you're saying that I don't know whether I'm successful?
I would say you wouldn't know. Why would you know?
Well, if you're dominating someone,
You're not. You're not controlling
No.
them. You're casting an enchantment on them, which means that, I mean, would you know... Is it a concentration spell?
yes,
It is?
yes.
Well, that changes things a little bit.
If it was a hold person, if I was, would I know?
You wouldn't know. Well, I mean, we'd be having the same argument. I mean, if somebody puts a blindfold on you, do you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I think personally, it comes down to game balance then. So,
Yeah.
if it depends how powerful you want the spell to be.
I don't think I want to rule on the powerfulness of the spell now,
Okay.
in the middle of an encounter.
Surely, if the spell didn't work, then you'd know that you didn't have to continue concentrating.
That's kind of what I'm asking.
I think.
Yes, I think that's fair enough.
Oh,
Well, the spell did work, so you are still concentrating on it, should you choose to do so.
Right.
The subject of a spell like this, again, I'm not going to try and indicate either way where things have gone since. Gets a saving throw every round.
Yes.
If they make that save at a later stage, do you get a little warning that tell you that you can stop concentrating on the spell?
Well, it's a bit
Or is
like
the balance...
when the Emperor's casting his lightning thing, or when somebody's moving something with their mind, there's always a kind of concentration effort that goes in that is clearly signalled when it stops.
Well, it is in the story-based idea, but the concentration mechanic is around you not being able to have more than one spell.
That's true.
With concentration at the same time. I don't know that you would know.
I don't know. Whatever you think.
If a subsequent save was made. In this instance, I'm going to find in your favour, and then if we decide after a bit of consideration that we've got it wrong, then in future encounters we'll do it differently. But for now, as far as you know, Filge is confused, and he clearly hasn't saved since, because you still have a spell to concentrate on.
Okay, so I'll move forwards. And he seems to be there. I'm confused about the sort of went straight through him kind of thing. So,
but I don't know. You
could be in the area, couldn't he?
You heard Alessandra shout, "My crossbow bolt went straight through him," but that's
nothing,
really all you know.
Is there anywhere that he could hide potentially?
Well, I mean, there's a great big pile of earth that you're standing next to
On
with
the
coffins
wagon.
dotted in it, and the big cart.
Yeah, the cart though. From where I'm standing next to the cart,
You can't see anybody obviously hiding under the cart. No.
And what did we see at the beginning? He was already here, wasn't he? They were already set up when we arrived.
They were already set up, and you could see him kind of tinkering around, and then he ran round the back of the pile of earth just before the trumpets sounded the start.
Displacement plus invisibility. So he's projecting an image of himself, even though he himself is invisible.
But I can see invisible. That's what's confusing me. So maybe he's in a coffin.
Does Mike know that?
Yes, Mike knows that.
I do know that Burple can see invisible,
Right.
but being able to see invisible, you don't get to see things that you wouldn't be able to see. If you see what I mean?
Yeah, if he's
can't see through
buried
walls.
himself under the mound. I understand that.
Oh, whatever. I don't know.
Or in one of the
We're
coffins.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in all sorts. We just don't know, do we?
Okay, I will.
Are the lids
move
of
up.
the coffins closed again?
That's a good point. Are the lids of the coffins closed? Did they come out? They came out of the coffins.
Yeah, the coffins were sort of stood up on the end almost, and those coffins are still open.
Right.
The pile of earth must be 4 or 5 feet high in the centre. It's a great big mound.
Just need to ask the question in the hope that a nudge.
There's no nudging,
Sorry?
but there's plenty of room for Filge to be inside in the earth. But I don't want to steer you towards humiliating yourself by digging around like some crazed archaeologist. I mean, who would be an archaeologist? Jesus, but I'm digging around
I just
like
want
some crazed archaeologist.
to nudge. Basically, if Filge is controlling these things telepathically or however.
There's been no indication whatsoever that Filge controls these things.
Yeah, I know. But they must. How do they know who to attack? Are they mindless things? That's sort of,
We've
I'm
really
really
gone down
going
a
there.
wormhole for Burple's round here.
I'm just edging forwards, asking questions as I go. Okay, I'll move up to Filge and I will hit him with my sword.
Okay.
Hitting 17.
Your sword sweeps through him and he's not there. It's like there's nobody. It's like he's a hologram. It's like he's a pretend person.
Okay.
What would you like to do now?
So I'd have to dig in the ground. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying you have to dig in the ground. I'm just saying that there is enough earth for somebody to hide
How
in.
long do you think?
But I might be just doing that to fuck with your
No, I
mind so that you start
But how
clambering
long
around
do
in
I
some
think
mud.
it would take to...
Not very long if you start sticking your sword in it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Just stick
Alright.
the sword in
Is that interacting with an
reasonable
object?
places.
Stick my sword into the earth?
I'm being incredibly nice to you this round. Sod it, why not?
Okay, I will go and stick my sword into the earth somewhere.
Fine. Your sword plunges into the earth and meets no non-earth based resistance. That sort of guarantee that there's nobody in there. You could have picked the wrong bit
Sure.
of the pile. I think that's quite a lot from Burple. Parker on 12.
So Grimbold healed some, but he's still standing.
Yes.
Armor class 16,
Is a hit
9
on
points of
Grimbold.
damage.
Yep.
Armor class 28,
Is hit also.
6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Armor class 20,
There's another hit.
4 points of damage.
Yes.
Still alive.
Teetering.
Okay, and a 9.
And 9 is a miss. And Grimbold survives just your attack, you think.
Yeah, he's gonna have
Is
to.
that it for Parker?
Yeah, that's me.
Top of the round 4, I think it is. Let's start with
I can watch up the jar.
Madam Watch of the Lodge. I think she's going to go after Dee Dee. She stalks up towards you, Dee Dee,
Yeah.
and bathes you with this screech. Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you make a DC 13 Constitution save, please?
DC, make a 21.
21. You're okay, but you take another 10 points
This
of
is
psychic damage.
Getting nasty. Okay. I've taken
Cubbin
30 points of damage.
Stomps towards you, Sessions. Stomps, in fact, right up to you.
He enters the Spirit Guardians.
He must make a saving throw. What's the DC?
16, I think.
And it's a wisdom save.
Yes.
He makes that save. What's the damage?
He's got a +8.
Is he wounded?
+8 on wisdom.
+8.
He goes,
Fucking
"You're
sell."
nicked."
13 points of the radiant damage.
13 points of radiant damage. Okay.
Sorry, did he
doesn't look
save?
very
So
yes,
he takes
saved.
half of that.
Okay, so he takes 6 points of radiant damage. He doesn't look like he likes radiant damage very much. And then he swings at you with his giant double-handed sword. First attack hits armor class 19.
It's a miss.
And the second attack hits armor class 22.
Unfortunately, that would be a hit.
25 points of slashing
25
damage.
points, bloody hell.
Grimbold seems to revivify. Not enough to make him look healthy,
He's got to
but enough
take his.
maybe just
He's
to
got to take
bring
his
him
Spirit
back
Guardian's
from the
damage as well, right?
brink. He starts his turn. He's got to make his Spirit Guardian saving throw. DC 16 save. He rolls a 6. He fails that save. How much damage?
Come on,
So
Graham.
the Spirit Guardians, he takes
Oh, this could be a big deal.
Come on, Graham.
18
Nice.
points of radiant damage, sir.
Nice.
18
Radiant.
points of radiant, sir.
Radiant.
And that is enough to down Grimbold. He sinks to his knees. There's an awful death rattle, and then he just plants face first into the sand. And as he does so, that thud, you realise is part of a more general disturbance in the ground underneath your feet. There's a sort of sudden kind of quietness in the crowd you've noticed. Some people are sort of standing up and looking around. You realise that under your feet you can feel a kind of vibration, so a sort of rumble.
It's the grub.
Boiling out of the clear sky, dark clouds start to kind of gather over the arena. Lightning crackles between them. And
It's coming.
as you stand there, you realise that the ground right next to where Grimbold has collapsed is starting to bulge in a sort of dome that's about, 15 feet across. And as it does so, you start to see, breaking through cracks in the ground, bright green shafts of light. And between them, the pit that you know sits in the middle of the arena appears and is already crumbling its sides. It's losing its integrity. The hole is huge, and this thing emerges. It's like a Polaris missile coming out of its launch tube. It's a giant, horrible, 50-foot, yellow, mucus-covered grub. It's got an enormous maw, and it kind of screeches at the sky.
Oh my
Rachnian, you notice,
God.
Alessandra, is standing on his throne like a man possessed. Rachnian points over at Chank Fankum, and he says, "The Apostle of Chaos is among us." This giant creature just goes, there is the champion you seek. Fankum grabs his sword and stands on the parapet of the players' area. Says, "Your plans will come to nothing." This worm roars out of the hole, and we will pick things up
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Oh
Black
no.
Well, we knew it was the bug, didn't we? The grub.
Does Rachnian notice that we're not actually really very surprised?
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Champion's Belt and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Champion's Belt was written by Tito Lietti. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!